guys, it's Kasha. Welcome to the channel, to my Wonderland. It is the coffee time, and today I bring you yet another book haul. I believe in this book haul I have around 25 books. Help me. Hashtag no self-control. Hashtag problem. First I'm gonna show you a couple of books that I got second hand, and then we're gonna go through all of the books that I ordered through Amazon. We start in the second-hand books with a graphic novel, actually. I have seen a lot of people in the booktube community talking about this graphic novel. I used to read a lot of graphic novels, but I don't read them anymore for whatever reason, so I want to get back into reading more graphic novels, and I decided to pick this one up. That is Saga. I got it, I read it, and I have to say I really loved it. There were a couple of things I was not such a fan of, but all in all, I loved the concept, I loved the story, and you were into the world right away. I decided to keep on with the series, so I have already ordered volume 2. The next book that I have is Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. I remember seeing Zoe from Read by Zoe commenting on this book and how she liked it. She likes a lot of contemporary books, so she's the perfect reference for me to read some contemporaries, which are not always my first to go pick. In this book we follow Audrey, and she never leaves her home, and she's always wearing sunglasses until she meets a guy that starts to change her life. Excited about it, and it does sound also like a book that you could pick as a summer read. Then I have a book that is kind of like a retelling or a different approach on Alice in Wonderland. And that is The Looking Glass Wars by Frank Better. When I heard about this book, I decided to pick it up in hardcover. It is a used book, so it is not in perfect condition, but it is still in a good shape, and also like this shiny cover is so pretty. Basically, the author was in London in an exhibition. They had a lot of art concepts for Alice in Wonderland, and one of them were like old cards. I think that's how he got the concept of this book, and that's more or less all I know about it, because whenever I see there's something that it's a retelling from Alice in Wonderland, I just go and buy it. Definitely really excited to read this one and see what it is all about. The last book that I got secondhand, it is a kind of like a weird story. I ordered this book in hardcover, very good condition, but when I got it, something was off. The book that I got is The Shifter, and as you can see, it is an ARC copy. So I ordered a hardcover and you sent me an ARC? I'm confused. Anyways, I got it on the mail, and I was like, first of all, I was like, this is a paperback, and then I realized that it says here Advanced Reader's Edition, and I was like, eh? So I sent an email to the seller and be like, what up, dude? Like, this is so not what I ordered. So I got a refund on that, and they said that I could keep the book. The good thing is, if I like this one, now that I can read it, I can decide if I want to continue with the trilogy and also get a regular hard copy finished version of the first one. And also, if I really like the book, this is an ARC from 2009, so it is not so easy to come by these things because they are not regularly for sale, so it's also something cool to have. Moving forward, I have a book that I was dying to read, and that is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. And the moment that I got the book on the mail, I knew that it was gonna be my next read. So I've already finished the book. So basically this is a book about Simon, and he is gay, but he has not told anybody yet, and he is exchanging emails with like a mysterious boy called Blue. So that is basically where we take off in the book, and I have to say I really loved it. This edition is a special edition that comes with some pictures from the movie behind the scenes, and it also has an interview with the author. Next, I have a book that I've also been dying to read, but at the same time I've been putting it off, and that is Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. And you'll be like, but you love the Lunar Chronicles, why are you putting it off? Because it's the last book and it makes me so sad. Like, I want to read it, but I know it's the last and it just breaks my heart. But I decided to finally pick it up, and I'm gonna read it this year for sure. I know it's just gonna make me sad because this is a collection of stories based on the world and the characters of the Lunar Chronicles, and it is the last book on the series. Next we have 2 or 3 Things I Forgot to Tell You by Joyce Carol Oates. And there is no blurb on the book, and I don't really remember what it was about. I know I picked it up because it was this kind of books that I normally don't pick up, and I want to read different types of books this year. and I'm pretty sure it was about like a tragic event that happened and the struggles of the main character or something like that. So that's why I picked it up, and we will see when I get to it. The next one is a middle grade, and it is the second book in a trilogy, and that is Nightmares, the Sleepwalker Toddy by Jason Segel and Kirsten Miller. I got the first book secondhand, and I read it and I loved it, so I decided to pick up the second book on the trilogy, and the hardcover is so freaking adorable and beautiful that now I'm going to repurchase the first book on the trilogy also in hardcover. We follow the story in the first book of a little kid whose mom passed away, and his dad is moving on with his life, and he has a new girlfriend, and they move in together with her in this big mansion, and there's also a lot of stories, spooky stories about this mansion. That's how the first book starts, and our main character gets into a big adventure that involves monsters, and it was so cute, and it was so like, you know, this kind of a cute spooky thing, kind of like Goosebumps style, and I really loved it, and I really hope that I'm gonna like the second book on the trilogy as well. Next I have The Infinite Moment of Us by Laura Miracle. That is one last name. So it is about this girl that all she wants to do is please her parents, you know, so she has done nothing crazy, and she's an A-grade student, and has been accepted to pre-med school, and she realized at some point in her life that pleasing her parents should not be her priority, but finding out, you know, what she really wants. This is what I understand the book is about. I hope that I'm right. And I picked it up because this was a beautiful hardcover that was on sale, and a type of book again that I normally wouldn't pick up, and I'm really pushing myself now to get a lot of books for my TBR that I would not regularly pick. The next one is a book that I picked because I totally dig this stuff. Maybe you've guessed it, but it is about vampires. It's called The Dracula Dossier by James Reese. I believe this kind of book connects Dracula with Jack the Ripper, I'm not sure, but I just picked it up because it was a book based on the character of Dracula, you know, vampires that I did not own yet, and it also mentioned Jack the Ripper, which is another character that I really like, so I picked it up, and I hope to get to it as well maybe in winter when I'm more in the mood for really spooky books, and see if I like it. The next book is another dark book, and that is The Asylum. It is by John Harwood. It is about a girl that wakes up in an asylum in England, and she doesn't remember what happened to her and why she's there. The doctors tell her that she had a seizure and that she admitted herself the day before, and she signed herself in basically, but then she tries to explain to them that that is not possible, that she is not this person. So who is this woman and what is she doing there? Like, all of this is very intriguing, and you know guys, I love spooky books, supernatural stuff, things that have to do with people that are crazy and that are in asylums and have psychological problems. I love this kind of stuff. I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. So I saw it and I was like, I'm gonna pick it up and see how it goes. The next one is Cold Calls by Charles Benoit. And I believe this is kind of like a teenager mystery thriller, and it's probably gonna be something like I Know What You Did Last Summer, and there are some teenagers that start getting like weird calls and things like that. So I don't know if it's gonna be any good or not, because these kind of books might be a hit or miss depending on how predictable they are. But I picked it up and I'll give it a try. Then I have Tumble and Fall by Alexandra Coutts. Now this is a book that I picked up because it is based on kind of like an apocalypse situation, and I love those kind of things, you know, those kind of end of the world, and it also has a romance, so I was like, let's pick it up and see how it goes. There is this asteroid, and the people on Earth are informed that it's gonna fall and that everybody's gonna die. Yay, party hard! So everybody starts to freak out and to think about their lives, what they've done, what they still want to do, and what would they want to do before that week ends. What would you do if you would be in the situation where they would tell you you have 1 week and that's it? What would you do? So I love this concept. I picked the book and I really hope it doesn't disappoint me. Next we have a thriller, Those Who Wish Me Dead by Michael Corta. It is about a 13-year-old that witnesses a brutal murder, and then the people that committed the murder start looking out for him, and he tries to hide under a false identity, and these murderers that committed the crime are killing everybody just to get to the boy something like that. I thought it was cool. I'm totally down for it, and I hope it doesn't disappoint me, and I hope it's a good thriller. Since I decided that this summer I wanted to try to read some books about mermaids, I decided to pick up the Lost Voices trilogy by Sarah Porter. We have the first book, Lost Voices, Waking Storms, and The Twice Lost. Don't know much about them, but they were, I think I got all the trilogy for 8 to 10 euros, which is not too bad because they're nice hardcover editions, and I'm really excited to pick them up, and I will try to read them this summer. Then I have a book that has been on my wish list, and I have been dying to get it for the longest time. A lot of people have been talking about it lately because, again, it's one of those books that is getting the second book this year, and that is Sight by Neil Shusterman. I mean, this is a book that sounds like something I would totally want to read. So why didn't I pick it up before? I don't know. It is a world where humans have basically mastered death and they don't just regularly die anymore like we do. But they have some people that are kind of in charge of making sure to kill some people, you know, so that we don't overpopulate. So who does not like that concept? It is a great original concept, and a lot of people have been talking fantastic things about the book, so I'm really excited to finally be able to read it. The next book I basically picked up because there is a Netflix series coming and it is a trilogy, so I was like, at least I need to already order the first book so that I can get on track. And that is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. It is about this girl that she writes a letter for all the guy crushes that she's had, and she put the address on them, and then she closed all the letters in a box, and then suddenly one day the letters are sent. I was interested in the trilogy already, but when they mentioned that there was this Netflix series coming, I believe this August, I knew I had to start reading it because if I can, I need to read the books first before I watch a series or a movie. Then we have Roomies, and this is a novel by Zara Zar and Tara Altebrando. There you go. Why are you doing this to me? It is about this girl that's very excited to go to college, and she wanted to be in a room alone, and that's how she sent her application. But then she's put together with another girl and she has to share the room with her, hence Roomies. And I thought it was gonna be like a cute contemporary, so that's what I picked it up. Next I have to haul for you the book that came in the All Crate for the month of June, and that is From Twinkle with Love. We follow the story of Twinkle, and she is studying in the film academy and she wants to make a movie, and then she meets there a guy, and I think she falls in love with his brother or something like that. I'm not really sure because I have not read it yet, but this is like the perfect summer read, totally summer vibes, and I'm definitely going to read it this summer. Another summer read, and it's probably also gonna be a very cheesy novel. It is 15th Summer by Michelle Dalton. We follow the story of a girl, and her family in summer normally goes to this lake house. It is the first time they're going since her grandma died, and she gets to meet there a cute boy in a bookstore. The bookstore part kind of made me buy it, but I think I also got it for only 2 euros, and it is still a perfect summer read. And then I have a book that I don't know much about because I didn't want to read too much about the plot of the book, but I think everybody has already read this book on the booktube community. I'm not gonna lie, the cover also made me buy this. And also because the author is getting a lot of praise by all of the booktubers, so I really want to read this. And that is A Furthermore by Tahara Mafi. All I know is that it's a fantasy book and the second book on the series is already out, but I mean, look at this cover. It's so pretty. And it's fantasy, so why not? I bought it and I'm excited to read it. And now let's go to the last 2 books of this haul. We're getting to the end, my friends. And these ones made me cringe when I got them because I ordered book 1 and 2 from the same edition, but they sent me different editions. That is like the worst thing. That is like, no, why are you doing this to me? My OCD cannot handle it. But anyways, it is Night Sky and Wild Sky by Suzanne and Melanie Brockman. The book starts when a kid that somebody is babysitting gets kidnapped, and I believe there are also superpowers involved, and that's what made me want to buy the book. But the fact that they sent me 2 complete different editions, even though I ordered the same edition for part 1 and 2, it's gonna bug me a lot, but I decided to make peace with it, and I'm gonna read the books first, and if I really like them, I will try to get the matching edition. Alright you guys, so these are all the books I hold for you. I believe it's 25 books. If you made it to the end of the video, you're a champ and you deserve another cup of coffee. Let me know down below what you thought about the books that I hold. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. To follow me on social media, the links is always down below. And I hope to see you guys in the next coffee time. Bye!